Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to another episode of Playing to Win. Today we are going to be looking at Quickdraw Synchrons, an archetype or a deck type which does very well in the meta, but by far is the most complicated and has the highest skill ceiling of any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! In my personal opinion. The deck is just crazy with the amount of combos it can do, and so I'm going to try and keep this segment short and get to gameplay ASAP, because I think the best way for people to learn how to play Synchrons is to see it in action and learn what the cards do as they are being used. So instead of going through every single card as I normally do, you can see what the cards are here for yourself, so feel free to recreate it. I will show you the full deck build at the end. But what I've done here is I've split the deck into three categories. We have combo openers, combo extenders, and combo finishers. If you don't know what that means, is that these cards here are the openers for the combo. They start your combo, and then these ones continue your combos and keep them going. And then these are the cards that you want to end your turn on, because they have special effects which can be used in different ways to kind of be more offensive towards your opponent. So, combo openers are a variety of cards which have effects that can either special summon themselves to the field, or they are tuner cards which also can be special summoned or have a variety of searching effects. Honestly, there's not a whole lot I can say out of here. Is just ignore the Raikou here for a second. I'll talk about Raikou a little later on. But these are just a variety of cards which can either send cards to your graveyard, special summon them to your field, and all of them are quite essential to keep your combo going. So we'll go into the extenders here. The extenders are very important, and what you'll often find is that your combo openers can turn into combo extenders later on down the line once you've got your combo going at a nice steady pace. But the extenders here in the extra deck are very important. You have cards like Formula Synchron and TG Hyper Librarian and Stardust Charge Warrior, which gets you free draw power. Jet Warrior can be special summoned to your field repeatedly. Axel Synchron can search out tuner monsters from your deck and send them to the graveyard, like Jet Synchron particularly, and is also a tuner himself, so he can extend your combos, along with Tatsunoko, who's also a tuner monster. And then you've got cards like Road Warrior, which can search out further monsters that are level 2 and lower warrior or machine types, including Quillbolt, Doppel Warrior, or Jet Synchron. That's basically it for the just a quick overview of the combo extenders. Be very aware of TG Hyper Librarian and when it's good to summon it, because every time you synchro summon you get a free draw with it, but only do so when you have multiple summons available to you. Now, the most important thing to recognize are which cards you want to stop at, which are your combo enders or your finishers. Formula Synchron is an extender and a finisher because it can allow you to synchro summon during your opponent's turn, as well as draw you extra cards. That is a really good effect, and being able to do things like synchro summon a Black Rose Dragon, Crystal Wing, or Trishula during your opponent's turn can be almost devastating for them, depending on what the situation is. Herald of Arclight is an impressive card here. It is a solemn judgment. Basically, it can negate any spell, trap, or monster effect when it's activated by tributing this card, but it is fairly weak, so you need something to kind of protect it. And the way to protect Herald of Arclight is through Junk Gardener. At least that's one of the ways to do so, or go for double negation with Shooting Quasar Dragon. Junk Gardener can turn the battle position of a monster on your opponent's side of the field during either player's turn, and also when it's sent to the graveyard it can do that as well. So if anyone tries to attack Herald, you can turn it to defense position once per turn, and hopefully it will stay alive long enough in order to negate something. Duel Warrior is a combo extender, is the type of card you would go for if you definitely think you can't win in this turn. You definitely want to go for Duel Warrior because he will set up your next play quite nicely. He has two effects, but the one which we most are concerned about is that you can discard one card and banish this card, and then during your next standby phase it will come back to your field, kind of like Frame Lord Omega. But when this card comes back to your field, you can choose one monster card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Ideally, you add something like Junk Synchron, which is a one card level 5 synchro summon. So Duel Warrior can really just set up your next turn quite nicely by letting you recycle a lot of your cards. Crystal Wing, I don't really think needs much of an explanation. It is your monster effect negation card, a big beefy monster with a built-in honest effect that can negate monster effects. It's really strong. Trishula is amazing. It banishes 3 cards that your opponent has, one from their graveyard, one from their hand, and one from the field. And then you've got Shooting Quasar Dragon, Yusei Fudo's iconic monster. This has an amazing effect. It can attack at least twice per turn. and it has 4,000 attack, which almost allows you to OTK in most situations, but also has the ability to negate the activation of any card or effect on the field once per turn and destroy it. It's very, very powerful, and it's very, very hard to deal with, and if you combine this with things like Herald of Arclight, you're going to pretty much steal the game there and then. It does have an effect when it leaves the field. It can special summon Shooting Star Dragon, but there just isn't room for this in the deck. So this is a very quick overview, and this is what the deck looks like when it's fully completed. Spell cards are just there to help you draw more cards and search out. Radko, let's talk about Radko, the Lightsworn engine here. We've got 3 copies of Radko and 2 copies of Charge. This is just to help you mill cards and send more cards to your graveyard, and Radko helps you to do that as well. I prefer Radko here than say something like Lila, because Radko is a level 2 monster which synergizes with Junk Synchron, and therefore you can special summon it from your graveyard, whereas Lila is a level 4. But if you want Lila instead and you want some more back row removal, I guess it can be useful for that too. Other things which are really noteworthy here, not anything in particular. Soul Charge is godly in this deck because you can do an entire combo, use all of your resources, and then just bring them back to the field and carry on. It's just insane in this deck. And then of course you need 3 copies of Twin Twister because you don't want to deal with back throw at all in this deck wherever possible. In terms of the side deck here, side deck isn't the easiest thing to do with this deck. The deck is pretty solid as it is. And taking out too many things will interfere with your combo, but sometimes you need particular cards to shut down certain decks. So the cards which you would often side out as your Lightsworn engine, so you would get rid of these 3 monsters and 2 cards here, and then you'll bring in 5 cards from your side deck. If you are going second, I recommend taking out the Lightsworn engine and bringing in 2 Dark Holes and 3 MSTs, just so you've got as much removal as possible to get rid of a threat. And if you don't need them, you can then discard them through different ways later on. If you don't want to do that, or you're playing against a particular matchup, let's say like Monarchs, you can bring in 3 copies of Zombie World or 3 copies of Master Restrict along with your 2 MSTs, and that way you have ways to get rid of Domain, and you stop your opponent from Tribute Summoning, which is particularly important in this deck because Stormforth is a very, very good out to your deck. Or if you're playing against something like Cosmos, Imperial Iron Wall with 2 MSTs can be really good to destroy a Cosmo Town and to stop banishing. And then if you're playing against something like Blue Eyes, Light Imprisoning Mirror can negate all Light Monsters effects. Doing so though does mean you lose your Quasar and your Herald, but that won't hurt you too much. And instead of using Quasar, you might want to bring in Ultimate Zolkin, which is easy to summon with Quickdraw Synchron in this deck, and also Axel Synchron. So that's really a rough overview of the build. Feel free to use it as you wish, and let's get into some gameplay ASAP so we can see how these cards work. Okay, so here we are getting into a game here. In this game, I'm going to be able to go first against my opponent here. It isn't the most competitive game, so I do apologize for that, but I think it demonstrates just kind of overall what the power of this Synchro deck is. So, ideally in your opening hand, what you want are multiple ways of special summoning, and so we had to play a Layer of Darkness to dig out a couple of cards here, and so now we have Quickdraw Synchron on the field by sending Quillbolt Hedgehog to the graveyard. We normal summon the Mathematician, and Mathematician is going to send Level Eater to the graveyard, which can allow us to do multiple special summons later on. We reduce Quickdraw Synchron's level by 1 to bring out Level Eater, and that now allows us get access to either a level 5 or a level 8 Synchro. Normally I would go for the level 5, however I only have this one tuner monster, so I'm going to go for the level 8 instead because Road Warrior can bring out a variety of different monsters. Road Warrior has the ability to special summon a level 2 or a lower machine or warrior type monster from our deck, and so now we're going to go for Jet Synchron, and that's going to be used with the level Eater on our field to go into Formula Synchron in just a moment. Formula Synchron is one of our main extending cards in the deck, along with Road Warrior. It gets us more cards to our hand, and it can also be used for Synchro summons later on. Jet Synchron, when sent to the graveyard, does a search for Junk Synchron, and so Formula Synchron now gives us a draw, and now we can use Level Eater one more time to reduce Road Warrior's level by 1 in order to bring it out to the field, and so we have a level 1, a level 6 and a level 2 at bay. At this point in time, we could extend our combos a little bit further, but I think we've done enough at this point in time to kind of interrupt my opponent's turn. Remember, Formula Synchron is a finishing combo as well as an extender as well. It works for both kind of combo groups as well, and you kind of see why it's a finisher and why it's so valuable. So before the end of my opponent's main phase here, we're going to use Formula Synchron's effect to bring out Chishula. By doing this kind of disruption during your opponent's turn, it is such a powerful move. It is a complete mindfuck against some players. Players will react to your established board towards the end of your turn. However, if you completely change your board after they've already committed towards combating your established board, it can really hurt a lot of players, and by doing synchro summons during your opponent's turn, it can really stop the flow and their momentum. In my own turn here now, we use a Junk Synchro to bring out Quillbolt, give us a free level 5 or a single card level 5 Synchro, and that brings TG Hyper Librarian. With Jet and level Eater in the graveyard, we definitely have access to more Synchro summons this turn. We send Glow Up Bulb to the graveyard to special summon Jet Synchron, and now we have another level 1 and level 2 to go into another Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron is going to get us a free draw, and TG Hyper Librarian is going to give us a draw as well. So both monsters will work together to give us more cards. Now with more cards in our hand, we have access to Black Rose Dragon, but that's not really what I want. I really want to kind of put more pressure on my opponent here, so I'm now going to bring out more monsters and continue the combo further. First of all, I'm going to bring Quillbolt Hedgehog to the field. So now we have a level 2 non-tuner and a level 2 tuner on the field, amongst other things. And then we bring out Glow Up Bulb as well. And we look at what we can use. We have Black Rose, which is our ender, but we also have Stardust Charge Warrior, which is our continuing, and Tatsunoko, which is our extender. And so we're going to go for Tatsunoko first, using the lowest level monster, and then we're going to get another draw from TG Hyper Librarian. Unfortunately, we get one of our Twin Twisters, which is exactly what I needed to get rid of Swords of Revealing Light. With this board set up, we now have more than enough on the field to kind of try to attack our opponent, and so I now use Tatsunoko and TG Hyper Librarian to go to Crystal Wing. That's 3,000 plus 2,700, 5,700 damage on board at the moment. But we don't have enough to kind of kill him this turn, so we're going to keep on going. Level Eater is going to come to the field. Quickdraw Synchro is now going to come to the field, and now we go for a Drill Warrior. And this is going to be enough to win the game here. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of Playing to Win. If you have any questions about how to play Synchrons, do ask me, and I'll try and get to your questions back as soon as possible. But thank you, as always, for tuning into my videos. Take care.